I have deleted 23,000 photos and videos from my phone just to free up some storage, and my iCloud decided to boot back the photos back onto my photos, so I have to delete them all over again.
I know all the millennials are going back to analog in 2026. I know we are. I see it happening.
I'm not paying $10 a month just to hold on to my storage.
Because I fear we're losing the plot. We're paying thousands of dollars over the course of X, Y, and Z amount of years for Spotify and Netflix when we grew up on DVD players and CD.
So what are these? What are those?
Workbooks.
What are those?
No, let's remember where we came from. You got too bougie. That's your problem. You got a little coin, and now you think, okay, I can throw a little $15 a month. They add up, though.
More people are going to be getting rid of their TVs and going back to VHS and DVDs. We're going to be canceling our stupid subscriptions that are charging us out and literally just stealing our money to just stress us out when it comes time to sit down and watch something. Because it's like, what the f do I watch when I have 20 billion things to choose from? No, honey, you need a wall of DVDs. That's what you need.
My phone keeps glitching because not enough storage. I'm about to do you one better. I'm about to get me a Sidekick, a BlackBerry, a Flip. I'm gonna dig through the crates and I'm gonna transfer my phone number onto one of those phones because this is ridiculous.
So lately my feed has been filled with people doing something that would have sounded extreme just a few years ago. Right now they are deleting their social media. They are switching back to their old flip phones. They are buying planners. They're using CDs, DVDs, and journaling instead of posting. And they're calling it Analog 2026. And at first glance, it really does look like nostalgia or maybe just a trend. But the more I watch, the more I realize that this is not just about vibes, but this is about something bigger. Burnout. And not just the personal burnout here. We're talking work burnout, financial burnout, and even digital exhaustion all colliding at once. So when people say analog, they're not talking about like reversing time and going backwards or completely rejecting technology altogether. But they're talking about choosing things that you can actually touch, you can finish with your hands and step away from. So analog used to describe Gen X, which was the last generation that grew up before everything went absolutely digital, back when life happened offline first. But what is really interesting about all of this right now is that the most digitized or digitally connected generation in history, Gen Z, is the one leading the shift back. So today I want to talk about why people are choosing to go back to their old technology and go analog, and what this all actually means about jobs, the economy, and where people are mentally heading in this new year 2026.
Somebody to come on here and convince me that reinvesting into dumb tech is something that I need to be doing. And on some level I know that it is, but also it's so bulky and cumbersome to have to be responsible for all of this product and material in your house. If you don't know what dumb tech is, or like the dumb tech revolution, basically people are intentionally getting older, dumb technology because they feel a greater sense of ownership over that tech. People are buying a lot of like modded iPods and they're intentionally getting flip phones. But one thing that people are consistently saying is that we've let tech get too powerful. We've let it have too much control over our lives. I'm tired of basically having the new age version of cable, which is what streaming has become. Like, it's a game of tag about what platform your favorite show is going to end up on.
You know, that's very true. Now that things are becoming more tech forward and more advanced, the more complicated things are really getting. And actually, it was supposed to be the exact opposite. All of this technology was actually supposed to simplify life and make things more simple. Now it's just making more mental bulk. It may not be physical bulk that we're dealing with, but a lot of mental juggling just to navigate each entire thing that we have to juggle. I mean, think about it. We've got subscriptions. We've got all of these different apps on our phones, apps on our computer, different things that we have to manage in order to run simple things like Microsoft Word, right? And even your Google Mail requires a subscription in order for you to continue. So a lot of it is like mental juggling with all of these different things happening all at once. And I don't think anyone was ever meant to juggle so many things all at once in their mind. So when people talk about going analog, they're actually talking about going back into a more simple time when things felt more simple and we didn't have as much just demand on our mental. Someone else said, I started buying CDs and DVDs again. I tend to rewatch the same shows over and over. So what's the point of having a dozen subscription services when I can buy the whole series for at most 6 months of streaming? And I have it. It's not going away. I also got a digital camera and my pictures have more meaning. I love that idea. Especially printing out the pictures, right? Who prints out pictures anymore? And it's something that we should really do, because what if something happens to our phones? Then all of our memories would be gone. I like the idea of going back, and I've been, thinking about doing this for some time now, but I think this video actually will encourage me to do it, to print out these pictures and put them into photo books so that your family can point back to special moments, like when you went on your first vacation, when your baby started to walk instead of crawl, and stuff like that, right? Because we can't allow technology to take up all of the meaning of our lives. But anyway, let's get back into the video.
Even when you have a paid platform, apparently you don't pay enough to watch some of the shows that are already on that platform. I'm talking to you, Prime Video, but when the person whose Prime I used already has Prime Video, why do we have to pay an extra amount of money to watch Freakazoid on the Prime? It's just little stuff like that that just gets to you and aggravates you. I have been thinking about this, believe it or not, for like 20 years now. Back in the olden days, on iTunes, you could buy videos and TV shows and probably films too. I don't know. I bought a show, a cartoon that was on Comedy Central that actually got banned. And it was a show called Little Bush. Look it up, but it was a show about the sitting president during war times, and it did not go over well. But I bought the series on iTunes before it actually got officially outright banned. You would think, I bought it, I spent my money on it, I own it, the show is mine, right? And one day I had a hankering to watch Little Bush. And do you know that I went into my iTunes library and it wasn't there? No explanation for why it wasn't there. No refund, no nothing. Just took the show out of my personal library. It's one thing for them to take it off the iTunes store. I understand that. They went the extra mile of going into my personal iTunes library and taking that paid for show from my library. And there's not a thing I could do about it. And that's when I knew, this is the downside to not having big, bulky tech in the house. I don't own any of this anymore.
The irony is we were in a rush to get out of the technological landscape of the 80s and the 90s, and we just wanted to be so futuristic, and we found a lot of our philosophical validation as a culture to move forward because we've always understood the meaning of life as an upward progress. This stems from the Abrahamic religions that understand the point of life as this mountain to climb, that there's something higher, better to aim for. That it's not about enjoying the journey, it's about getting to this destination. And we've always subconsciously accepted that like technology is going to be the savior that completes us, that gets us to this place where we will be the happiest, most efficient, productive, whatever sad we think this technology is going to make us. The reality is we're flawed, imperfect human beings. No technology will ever change that. I hope that all you've seen is how much it's revealed how much we are not that. Say all this to say, we were in a rush to leave the 90s, and the irony is that we're going to use AI and virtual reality to go right back. We're going to go right back because basically now the everyday consumer locked in their unit, in their dwelling with 5 screens on their eyes, they're going to choose to, because their environment has now become so devoid of like meaning and interaction, the place they're going to get that interaction is going to be through the screen. And then they're going to want to go back to a place, an environment in time where there were no screens.
The irony is that these technologies, that we're relying on have ultimately gotten us to a place where we are relying on AI. And what is AI doing now? AI is taking jobs away from people and causing for massive amounts of, I think the unemployment rate or the amount of jobs that were that laid off individuals scaled up to a little over 1 million jobs last year, 2025. And so the fact of the matter is there are millions of people that are out of work because of this technology that we have inserted into our lives little by little, and now it's like taking over, and us humans are now taking the backseat. So a lot of people, I feel like with analog, they're looking for that simple time, more so because of AI. I mean, look at it. We're seeing AI videos pop up everywhere. We are not sure what to believe anymore. And now it's kind of sucking the joy out of even watching a simple video. So people are looking for meaningful interactions again, talking to people again, reading books again, real hands-on interaction that you feel like you have some sort of control over, because AI is taking over, and it shows us that we have no control over how fast AI is growing and taking over every aspect of our livelihoods, including our employment.
Because I fear we're losing the plot. We're paying thousands of dollars over the course of X, Y, and Z amount of years for Spotify and Netflix when we grew up on DVD players and CD. No, let's remember where we came from. You got too bougie. That's your problem. You got a little coin, and now you think, okay, I can throw a little $15 a month. They add up, though. It's adding up. It's adding up. Let's not forget what you grew up on. Is cassette tapes. Yeah, I'm clocking your age. You grown as you getting a little too bougie. I'm gonna need you to dust off the DVD player, get a disinfectant wipe, you good. Get you the little yellow, red, and white cords and hook it up. Which one we watching tonight?
So he got the High School Musical, the Brother Bear, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like, these are things that we have, not all of you guys, all right? Some of you guys are Gen Z watching this video, but for the most part, us millennials and Gen X grew up watching DVDs and TV, right? Just TV, just regular TV. And so it's ridiculous, like he said, how far we've gotten because we got a little coin, right? I like his commentary on it. Okay, so let's look at some of these comments. Someone said, my son's TV. Oh, remember that? I don't know if you remember that. I'm a 90s, late 80s baby, but those TVs were everything back then. And I'm someone who really wanted a TV like that, like an actual like Disney character TV. People were going nuts for those things. Someone says, right when you buy a DVD, you own that for life. No monthly subscription, right? So someone said, and no ads. Just those previews in the very beginning, which you're able to skip forward, right? You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. And that's basically what we grew up on. Someone said, canceled all subscriptions last month. Made a huge difference. Never again. They don't even have DVD, CD players on laptops. And you know what? That's so true. I mean, even my laptop right now does not take DVD or CD at all. Like, you remember when you were able to slip the CD into the side of the laptop? Like, these new laptops don't take that anymore. So I don't know if maybe there's like maybe USB version of that where you can hook it up to your laptop and actually watch a DVD that way. I don't know if there's like some external software or technology that you can get in order to do that. But yeah, these laptops, these new technologies are now built in a way where you cannot go backwards. You have to go forward.
So I scoured my house to find old school tech that we don't use anymore, and boy, did I score. I found the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 6S in mint condition, 3 flip phones, an iPad mini. This was actually the first iPad mini that was released in 2012, a random tablet, and a house phone.
I have a quick question. Who here was around during the Sidekick era, right? When you had a Sidekick. If you know a Sidekick, you know the Sidekick, where you had to like click one side of the screen and the whole screen popped out, and there was like I can't explain it very well. You just had to be there. But let me know down below if you had a sidekick, because me, I went crazy for that thing. And I had a couple of them. And that just completely defined that entire early 2000s generation. Like, we felt like we were doing something when we just flipped up our sidekick and over there on AOL chat, right? And doing all of this on our sidekicks, right? So let me know if you are a part of that generation, because that just came to mind anyways.
I have no clue what this is. I'm guessing it's an old house phone that my mom used to use. I mean, it has like what is this? Ethernet? No. These are landlines? Is this a landline cable? I have no clue. And we got
Yes,
3 trap phones, you know what I mean? Hello? I need the kilos moved here. You know what I mean? Hold on. What'd you just say? I think
Listen, there was nothing like when you were upset on a phone call and you wanted to hang up. Like, you can't even do that with a touch screen. You just, little soft touch. When you are mad, you can flip that phone closed and get that loud that made you feel like you were doing something. But these little phones nowadays, they don't do that, right?
this tablet is extremely prehistoric, because if I looked up the website, and I don't think they make tablets no more. I think they probably stopped making tablets in like 2010. To be honest, I don't know why we have all this stuff. But in the comments, if y'all want a part 2 of me trying to find random tech in my house, let me know.
So people keep framing this as an aesthetic shift, like we just woke up and decided to miss CDs and notebooks. But that's not exactly what's happening here. What I'm seeing here is people trying to create distance from the constant notifications, the texts, the bad news cycles, and ultimately from feeling like every moment should be monetized, posted, or optimized. So when everything in your life feels like it lives on a screen, like your job, your bills, your social life, your stress, eventually your brain wants out. And analog is not about going backward into time, but it's about slowing the pace enough in order to breathe.
What's up, you guys? I'm back. I found a box full of my old technology, so let's go through it together. A lot of the stuff is broken because I did not know how to take care of any of my devices back then. First, my old cell phone. This was so iconic. I had the rhinestone case. It was one of those phones where you slide it up to text, and I wish these would come back. I loved this phone so.
That kind of resembles the Sidekick. That kind of resembles it.
iPod Nano, you guys. I tried charging this and the light wouldn't turn on. So I'm hoping it's just a charger. So I'm going to try to order a new one and see if it would work for this, because I really want to hear what's on this thing. Pretty sure this was my first device I ever had. My iPod, you guys, and it is so cracked and beaten up. It's kind of embarrassing. Cute little cheetah print case, and on the back of it, I had all of my cheer competition stickers and a Justin Bieber pic, and he's on the beach. I got my Instax mini cute phone cases. So this is the first one. It's an angel. Cheetah print, Hello Kitty case with the rhinestones. I still love this one. I've kept every single one of my phones. Don't ask me why. Don't know. Camera protector, because I thought people were spying on me for some reason. Cute pop sockets that I have not used yet. My first pink digital camera I ever got it back in 2009. My parents gave it to me for Christmas, and unfortunately someone dropped it and the lens is just stuck out now and it won't turn on, so that's really sad, but it's okay. I compensated for it by buying more cameras. Digital cameras that you need to get are the vintage ones from like the 2000s, or buy like a really nice new digital camera. I use this one now. This one works. It's got me through a lot so far. And other ones are pretty much broken because I like to hand out my camera to other people and have them take pictures as well. A lot of the times when you're getting crunk, it doesn't always work out. I have a selfie stick. Y'all remember those?
Wow. Selfie stick. Like, oh my gosh, time is just going so fast. That just came out and everyone was like, you would see people just walking down the street with this annoying selfie stick. Do you guys remember? I'm sure some of you guys have it. Selfie stick. That thing was so annoying.
Fisheye lens that you just clip onto your phone. That was a tour of all of my devices that I kept. I really want to do a what's in this phone video. It won't turn on. I think the battery is dead because a few years ago I was able to turn it on and actually go through it. So I ordered a new battery and let's hope and pray that it will work. Thanks for watching, guys.
Hello? I'm sorry, I can't hear you over my iPod. I'll show you this CD spread. Yeah. Found my old CDs from middle school. You mean? I got
got 2 more CD cases of this. I could go all day.
Flexin', Amy Winehouse, The Pack, MGMT, and MGMT. Y'all want to ask my ID? You can get that out my cold dead hands. I don't give a It's the principle. It's the principle. Y'all want to charge me $14 a month to read some books? Guess who went to her local library and got some books? You're replaceable. Don't ever forget that.
I know I'm not the only one experiencing this crippling ass phone addiction. I'll be waking up in the morning and can't wait to get on TikTok. Be on TikTok till my head hurt, and I'll be like, okay, I need... was that a notification?
Listen, now that I'm doing these videos, I am discovering the world of TikTok. And I always said to myself, I am not dealing with that app. It's just a silly app filled with kids doing trendy dances. Like, that's not my vibe. But listen, TikTok is listen, you can replace your TV with TikTok. TikTok has everything, all right? TikTok is a world of its own, an entire rabbit hole, okay? It will take up your time if you let it.
Back on TikTok, scrolling. Head back hurting. Okay, I'm gonna take a break again. Put my phone down. Boom, I get a phone call, but I'm gonna take the phone call on speakerphone so I can scroll. Whether it's TikTok or Instagram. And I really be doing this unintentionally, for real. Look up and it's all these hours that's passed. My head hurt. I feel like I ain't did, but just scroll. I mean, I kind of am supposed to be scrolling and like studying the algorithm and stuff because I am trying to take content creation serious. But my head hurts, y'all. Do y'all heads hurt? Or is it just me?
No, it's a lot, all right? Especially if you are trying to get into the social media space. There's a lot of information, a lot of perspectives, opinions online, and it could get very emotionally draining. At some point, you have to step away and take a break, right? A mental break is very needed when you are on these apps all the time. So this trend makes even more sense when you look at work as a whole. When your job follows you home through your email, through Slack and group chats and notifications, logging off becomes an act of self-preservation. And so people are not quitting technology altogether, but they're trying to protect what little energy they do have left after work. And when work already drains you mentally, emotionally, and even financially, the last thing that you want is your free time feeling like it's optimized, monetized, or even tracked. And for people who have been laid off, underpaid, or even stuck in unstable work, logging off is sometimes the only control that they feel like they actually still have.
I know all the millennials are going back to analog in 2026. I know we are. I see it happening. We are quietly, and with the help of Gen Z, we are bringing back so much nostalgia for like our childhood, our era, that like we're actually bringing it back, guys. Like, it's happening. More people are going to be getting rid of their TVs and going back to VHS and DVDs. We're going to be canceling our stupid subscriptions that are charging us out and literally just stealing our money to just stress us out when it comes time to sit down and watch something. Because it's like, what the do I watch when I have 20 billion things to choose from? No, honey, you need a wall of DVDs. That's what you need. Okay, we're going back to having conversations in person in coffee shops, okay? We are going back to letting kids be wild in our yards, in our neighborhoods, running free, being outside, getting off video games. We're bringing potlucks back. In-person dinners and potlucks with friends. We're bringing back handwritten letters, sending cards, just thinking of you type of shit like our grandmothers and our mothers did. We are bringing this shit back because this shit can't die. It can't. We cannot let the digital age steal what it means to be human. We cannot let convenience take away our desire to connect.
So at some point, digital life all stopped being fun. We somehow feel pressured to post just to remain relevant in today's society. And engaging with other human beings has now become some sort of dreadful obligation. Even scrolling started feeling like work. And that's because in a lot of ways, it is work. You're producing data, you're feeding the algorithms, and you're comparing your life to highlight reels while being told to stay motivated for your own work. So when people say, well, I'm going analog, what they're really saying is, well, I'm done performing my life online just for people to see. So let's be honest, going analog is not just emotional, but it's also financial. Deleting these apps reduces the impulse spending, and logging off reduces comparison spending as well. So being bored again actually helps you to save money.
Okay, am I insane, or do Bluetooth devices just work less and less over time? Every Bluetooth, hold on. every Bluetooth device that I've ever owned just gets more and more over time. Like these LED lights that I have on my wall, I love them. They're so cool. You can draw designs and do pixel art, and you can do it with so many colors and designs, and it's so fun. But I got them for Christmas last year, so it's been about a year since I got them, and just especially recently, they're so slow. There's no remote, because of course there's not a remote, because of course they're gonna make you get a app. So I download the app and it works fine, but then just over time it's slower and slower. I used to be able to just press the power button and they would just turn on or off instantly, but now I press the power button and a little loading thing comes up for 15 seconds, and it's obnoxious.
Apple has pissed me the off so bad. I'm about to make the switch. I have deleted 23,000 photos and videos from my phone just to free up some storage, and my iCloud decided to boot back the photos back onto my photos, so I have to delete them all over again. I'm not paying $10 a month just to hold on to my storage. My phone keeps glitching because not enough storage. I'm about to do you one better. I'm about to get me a Sidekick, a BlackBerry, a Flip. I'm gonna dig through the crates and I'm gonna transfer my phone number onto one of those phones, because this is ridiculous. You're not getting any more of my money. You're just being greedy as fuck. And before you ask me what type of phone I have, it's an iPhone 14. I think they're on the 17th now. I don't know. I don't keep track. All I know is the old school phones were a lot better quality and they lasted a lot longer.
A lot of people are quietly realizing that digital convenience costs way more than just dollars, but it costs your attention, your energy, and your time. And when wages are not keeping up, people stopped optimizing and they start cutting back.
I'm back to talk about things I want to bring back. So if you're new here, it's your girl, Miss Math Teacher. Okay, I teach math, but I'm an educator. I like people who are educated. I like to talk to intelligent human beings. And what I've noticed is that as an educator for going on 10 years, there are principles that we are lacking that has been just covered up by just do the thing because we do the thing. I want us to not just necessarily go back to the old ways, but just actually have sound principles on what it is to be educators and what is education. So what are these? What are those?
Workbooks.
What are those? What are those?
What are kids using? If they're not using workbooks, what are they using?
What? Remedial. Remediation. What? And you thought Spanish? Where are these at? Where are the workbooks?
Okay, so I want to be clear here. This is not possible for everyone. Some jobs do require constant connectivity, and some people rely on social platforms for income, but some people cannot afford to unplug. But the fact that so many people want to, that is telling us something huge here. It tells us that the system feels overwhelming for everyday Americans, and that people are craving simplicity again, that life feels louder than it used to. And when enough people start opting out, even partially, that's not a trend, but that is an actual signal. So hashtag analog 2026 is not about rejecting technology altogether. It's about rejecting constant pressure, the pressure to be available at all times, the pressure to hustle, the pressure to keep up with other people. And when you connect the dots between the burnout, between the unstable jobs, the rising costs of living, and digital fatigue, this shift makes perfect sense. So I'm curious to know, and let us know down below, no judgment added here, but are you going to unplug in 2026? even just a little bit? Or do you maybe feel like logging off, deleting social media isn't your vibe here? Let us know down in the comments section below. I would love to know your thoughts about this video and everything that we talked about here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you know someone who is addicted to social media or addicted to technology, someone who maybe could use this idea to go analog, please go ahead and send this video to them. Maybe, you know, spark up a low-key argument, see what they think about all of this, and maybe spark up a conversation as well with your sphere of influence. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like it and subscribe for many more videos just like this one. We do a lot of deep dives into the cost of living, job crisis, the crazy consumer spending, and we talk about how some of these companies do gaslight us into spending instead of keeping our coins. So if you're interested in any of that content, do subscribe here. And thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments down below. Let's continue the party in the comments section, and I will see you in the next video.